Do business. Act business. Business
Businesses need to be successful, and for them to be successful, they need to be able to get their acts right from the very onset to the point of profitability. Well, just as it is on Business Matters, we're looking at how we can definitely bring to you some of those concepts that will help your business very successful. My name is Stephen Ipalabo Lawson. You're welcome.
Business Matters. Let's talk business.
The global world is beginning to realize that it's important for them to take cognizance of how indigenous corporations or companies or enterprises or firms definitely play in order for them to see how they can spread the wealth as well as build capacity, whether it's through coaching, mentoring, or otherwise. This will have definitely help businesses to be as successful as they are elsewhere abroad. Let us have a business update.
Business Matters.
As it is our culture on Business Matters, we invite a distinguished professional who we invite to the studio to do justice to a particular topic of the day. And today we're looking at Enterprise Agile for Profitability. And joining me in the studio today is no other person than an Enterprise Agile and DevOps coach. He is also an ICT professional with a bachelor's degree in accounting. He has also acquired several certifications, which also include Project Management, Prince 2, as well as IT Service Management and the Microsoft certification, and CISCO. He's a result-driven seasoned professional with over 15 years in IT support, IT service management, as well as IT infrastructure. A highly skilled professional who believes in maximizing available resources to achieve business objectives. I'm talking about no other person than Mr. Tunde Giwa. How are you, Tunde?
Thank you very
It's
much.
good to have you on Business Matters.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Great. I mean, I also know that you are the executive secretary at APON, as well as one who is so very much passionate about seeing businesses succeed.
Yes.
One of the things that makes me wonder, I mean, during the research for this particular interview, I came across a word which is lean. And then I looked at myself in the mirror and I realized that I think I fall in that category. But applying the lean concept, as the case might be in business, can you kindly expatiate how that can help enterprises succeed?
All right. Thank you very much, Stephen. So I would say the lean practice, it's a practice,
Okay.
right? We like to say practices rather than frameworks or methodologies, right? So the lean practice is a practice of keeping what you need to do simple, right? Which is one of the agile principles, right? And this lean practice has brought about the whole agile concept. Okay, so being lean is not removing waste from anything that you're doing,
That's
right?
great.
So which has now found its way into businesses to the point whereby it has emerged different, so to speak, work frames or work ethics,
Sure.
right? And organizations such as startups have emerged from this activity. as we see it today, a lot of startups are making a lot of money, and they are
True.
doing a lot of things,
Especially in fintech. It looks like the startups are actually a fintech thing.
Exactly,
You know?
and that's because their base, their background is agile, right?
Okay.
Bringing the lean practices into agile. A lot of them actually, to be fair, practice some form of agile, and they are driven towards it because of the mindsets from lean, right? So like you said, yes, and looking at yourself in the mirror, right? You
want to take away the
portray,
waste.
yeah, you portray that image in everything. That helps you to focus on your objective, right? You see organizations who, at the end of the day, there's someone who we call the product owner, right?
Okay.
Now, in startups, you find out that the product owner, who is the visionary of that product, is kept as a product owner, minding the product from start to finish over years, right? But organizations have driven or deviated from that mindset over years, over the past few years, because when you start making money, then you want to manage the money.
That's true.
Right? And then you leave the product, you now hire somebody
That's
else
true.
to come and take over that product. And that's how the product starts to
Deteriorate or depreciate.
Yeah,
That's the right
depreciate,
word for it.
And with startups, this doesn't happen, right? Because of the agile part of
Okay,
it, right? And that's what the lean methodology.
Now,
lean
we
framework
just
is
see a
about.
lot of businesses that go comatose. I mean, they end up in business graveyards,
Yes.
which a lot of times I think consultants as well as intellectual juggernautes have actually said it's the first 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
That happens because a lot of these businesses never even adopted a lean practice from their
Yes.
very
Well,
onset.
not because they didn't, but then they
Okay.
lost the vision. They lost the identity of that person, right? So if you permit me, I can talk about organizations abroad, right? Who big organizations who practice agile, right? And you see in their leader, the product owner. Most of the time, they call themselves the chief product owner. So people like Elon Musk from
Yeah,
Tesla.
Elon Musk, Tesla.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
I mean, he's in the forefront of so much. I mean, so much
Yes.
is going on. We
Yes.
have what is it, the electric car as a matter of fact that is beating so many of these rich, world richest men.
Yeah.
Because I imagine that it was very responsive to innovation.
It was responsive to innovation. That's one thing, but that doesn't always get you far, right?
Okay.
Responsiveness to innovation is a key factor. However, if you do not take customer feedback and be obsessed with your customers, like they say Amazon is obsessed with their customers. So the idea of satisfying your customers through early and continuous delivery of your products, right, is what will get you past 5 years.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So they do that, right? Then when you find out that at some point, when the money, so the money does a whole lot of stuff
Yeah,
to
hold
the
on.
organization.
Even to an individual,
right?
it
Yeah.
does a whole
So
lot of
when
stuff.
the money comes in, that product owner, that person, the visionary, wants to focus on managing the money, managing the funds. Then you now
Not forgetting that the goose that lays the golden egg should actually take
and
much
you start
of
to
those things.
diversify, right? Facebook, for instance, Mark Zuckerberg is the product owner. He remains the product owner, and he will always be on Facebook. Facebook has a lot of other products, right? But they didn't lose the focus of Facebook, right? If you look at organizations that are innovative and are top in the world at the moment, you see that what they always have that one person who is just focused on the product, right? And that's
regardless
why,
of when, if profit is coming in,
regardless of what is
whatever
going on, they
changes
don't care about, they don't think about the money,
Okay.
right? They think about delivering something that is of value
over a sustained period of time. As a matter of fact, it's a continuous improvement.
Continuous improvement.
That goes on and on and on.
So with any product, right, you're getting continuous improvements in iterations gradually. Do you understand? And that helps you to increase your customer base as well, right? Look at Microsoft. They are meant, you know that there are other operating systems.
Yeah, they are. Well,
Yeah.
nobody ever remembers that. I
Nobody
think
nobody
there's
remembers,
several
and it's not
operating
not
systems.
because
That's
they,
true.
they have a monopoly or anything, right? But because they get continuous feedback, and with the feedback they improve on their products.
Now, Tunde, you have a background in IT infrastructure. I mean, you've
Yes.
been on ground several things. And I noticed some certain things in Nigerian business environment where one of the words you've actually been mentioning right now has to do two words, as a matter of fact. The customer satisfaction is major.
Feedback.
And the feedback, you took the word
Yeah.
out of my mouth. In my own experience in the average Nigerian business, it looks as if the customer is never king, and feedback is not body's business.
Yeah.
And somehow, someway, these businesses still survive and
Yeah.
they're still profitable.
Well,
Do you think those kinds of businesses will even imagine that enterprise agility is going to help them to even stay afloat beyond
well,
this
they will. You see, I always say something. I always say, until change changes you, yeah, you would not understand where you're supposed to be, right? And change changing you, no, we just woke up one day and we didn't have yellow cabs anymore, right? In Nigeria.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, we just woke up one day and
The
no,
boats,
no,
the Ubers,
no video clubs.
no
right?
video clubs. Not
Okay.
those days we used to go
Exactly.
right.
So
video
nobody
clubs.
sent us any memo, right? Nobody sent us any memo.
True.
Not to sound insensitive, but COVID in certain ways was a huge blessing.
It was.
For
God rest
year-
the souls of
yeah,
those who
of those
were
who-
departed.
yeah,
But it
you
helped us
know,
understand that
For years before COVID, we were the company I work for. We were shouting digital transformation, remote working, and things, and people were
Nobody
laughing
ever
at us,
understood that.
right? And just because people did not trust their employees, right? However, when COVID came, the change changed them, right? So you didn't have a choice but to trust your employees.
As a matter of fact, we actually conducted interviews
Yeah.
Via Zoom.
Zoom, exactly.
Because I mean, there was no other reason. I mean, if you even go into
Nobody will-
our control rooms, you see that we had to even upgrade to our digital platforms because
Exactly.
this is what the customer of the day is demanding. But we're going to go on a short break. As soon as we're back, the conversation continues.
All right.
Viewers, that's as you've heard. Don't let change you. It's better how you respond to change. But that conversation continues after the short break.
Experience unlimited superfast internet access from ITIL 4G. ITIL. Live more.
Well, if you just joined us, this is Business Matters, and we're looking at enterprise agile and profitability. And in the studio with me is no other person than Mr. Tunde Giwa. He's the Executive Secretary of the Association of Agile Practitioners of Nigeria. Mr. Tunde, I mean, before we went to that break, we looked at, you mentioned a word, if you don't change, change will change you.
Yes.
And the feedback mechanism, you have a background in IT infrastructure. Why does it look as if we don't have a very good feedback culture in Nigeria? You send in proposals, you send in letters, you even make calls. Even call centers don't respond to you at the time or as quickly as you should, that you find yourself so aggravated you don't know what other options to take. I mean, has that been your experience?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Will
In this-
agile
Yeah.
mindset help to address that?
Oh, for sure. In this part of the world, it's our culture, right? And like we say, culture is formed, right, by people. Okay, so and the good thing is, agile it's culture, right? It's a mindset, and if we gradually, try to adopt this mindset, it will change. It will change people. It will change the way you understand things, right? I found out that there's the reason why in a lot of organizations people don't take certain things serious is because they don't know what the bottom line is, right? They don't see the full picture of the organization. They don't see that, the organization. So management makes certain goals
True.
for the year, right? And then those goals are sliced down into manageable tasks for each employee, right? So you get your tasks for the year, you get or daily task or weekly task, right? So you're not privy to the organization's goals, right? And how they make money. So it's none of your business, right? So in this part of the world, they say whether the whether the companies sell, they don't sell.
My
You get my
salary.
salary. Exactly. So you get, but with Agile, you get involved in every single thing, right?
But won't that be a risk in terms of exposing your business secrets or trade?
No, that's business secrets are different things, right?
Okay.
But however, even those secrets, right? If you give for instance, your security, your gate man, if he knows about you, right? That's willingness to he feels like a part of the family,
Of the family,
right? And then it does something to a human being psychologically. You believe that you're a part of it, right? And that way you look out for it. You see gate men that will tell you, no, a guy is not at home, and and they make it look like it's their life, right?
Part of their
It's
own
So
sustenance. So
agile in itself gives you that self-belonging. So in teams, we call them families. The idea is to make people want to belong to your organization, see themselves as a part of the organization.
it's more like a family-oriented enterprise.
Exactly,
that is-
and you protect that family.
You protect that family,
Right?
I mean,
so
family comes
when
first.
that starts, when you call customer service, they really want to solve your problem for you.
So would you say a lot of times the harsh coerced experiences that you have from the customer service is actually a reflection of what apparently the leadership or management
We can say that. We can say that, okay? But I think that if you know that what doing well, like my father used to say, right? You would, regardless of whatever is coming from above you. We have organizations that do that, and then teams are fantastic, right? So, and which is one of the reasons why you see with this agile thing, right? You can't just take different parts of it or make take different parts of the organization and say this your team is agile and stuff, and leadership is not.
It's not.
So leadership is leadership agility as it is the first point, right?
It's
so
always critical as a matter of fact.
because when we want to start adoption and transformation of an organization, the first place we go to is leadership. Because if we don't get the leadership buy-in, there's no point. We'll walk away.
What exactly do you think a small business can actually, basically, take in as whether it's as a startup or a small business? Because a lot of times you have to look at your overhead. You have to still want to balance where your access to funds comes in.
Yeah.
You look, the interest rates are there. You also have to deal with employees, challenges and issues. You mentioned earlier on that most organizations don't seem to trust their employees until COVID came about, and then we had to do remote working and the rest of that. So for the small, medium enterprise, how does this benefit him or her?
So it's even easier with
The MSMEs, really?
Yeah, it's easier because they're not too big, right? They mostly don't have legacy systems that can't be changed, and change is easier with them, right? So it's easier for them to start with teams. So normally what we recommend after we go in talking to the leadership,
product owner,
right? Then the best way to start is with the teams, each team, right? Like if I reference Jeff Sutherland in one of his TED Talks, he said that he asked them to give him the worst team in the organization, right? And because
you don't want to be in that team.
So I think it's the easiest place to
That
start.
is an indictment, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's the easiest place to start with if you think about it, because nobody will come in and disturb you, right? Because they believe that that's the worst team in the organization or the smallest team in the organization, and they are very inconsequential. But then when you go through that approach, you find out that team would be the best team in the organization, right?
That is a huge transformation.
Yeah,
and
that's where
happens,
transformation starts. That's
really.
when adoption starts, and then we now scale enterprise-wide, right? But it's the best approach. It's the best proven approach that we.
Now, one of the things I always say is that I'm a lover of Nigeria, and
Yeah.
I know that Nigeria has to succeed beyond
It
what,
has to,
what
yes.
exactly it is. And every single time we say that everything falls on the table of the leadership. The leadership itself is very critical in whatever it is that one goes about. And we know political economy is a very major aspect of any nation's outlook, as the case is. How well do you see leadership agility infused into our public service in order for us to be a far more better? Because I know, I will imagine United Arab Emirates, have adopted that kind of mindset for them to be leading the world as it is, regardless of the fact that they're in the middle of a desert.
All right. So I would say this. When our leaders are ready to drop power as it is, right? That's to drop. Do you know who I am? Right. Then we can start to talk about agility in our political space and public sectors, right? Because one of the values of Agile is openness.
Wow.
Transparency.
That's like open democracy.
Exactly. So until we can be open with everything, right? Every single thing. Everybody knows what everybody is doing. Everybody sees what is coming in. Everybody sees how this person is working. And everybody is being honest. Until then, we can say agility is coming to Nigeria, right?
Okay. But are there governments apart from what we know in UAE that have adopted that?
Oh,
in
yes.
Europe, in America,
the White
even
House. The
Africa?
White House, they do Agile.
Oh, great.
Right. A lot of government organizations. As a matter of fact, a lot of methodologies, right, started with government institutions.
Oh,
right,
great.
Right.
Yeah.
Prince 2.
Prince 2, yeah. Project management.
Yeah. All those. They started with, and they were a reflection of Agile, as it were, initially in the 1950s, how work was being done, and then project management came about as a result of us trying to fix things, right? Trying to put this person to manage this team, and then they got farther away from the business owner or do you understand, the person who had the idea, right? And then things started to fall apart. A lot of project management organizations have started to adopt Agile into their curriculum as well, quickly, because they know that, you want to see project management professionals out of work.
No,
so they started to adopt Agile practices.
All right. Tunde, I want to say a big thank you. Time is never our friend on Business
Thank you very
Matters,
much.
but this has been a very insightful conversation. This is the way for us to go as a country. Yeah. And I'm very sure they are watching, and that's going to help us adopt this mindset that can help us be much more prosperous as a people. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Sometime we'll invite you, and then you'll give us the honor.
Yeah.
All right, viewers, please stay tuned. Business Matters continues after this short break.
Business matter. Let's talk business. Business matter.
As you've heard, it's important for us to adopt and adapt to this agile mindset as a country, as professionals, as individuals, as well as organizations. And SMEs out there, you know that this definitely is a wonderful opportunity for every single one of you to definitely start up on the right footing so that your businesses will not just only survive, they will thrive to the point of becoming a legacy that is worth celebrating. It's happening in the fintech spaces. It's happening also in other places. You've heard us talk about Elon Musk's Tesla that has become a very wonderful model of what can be successful. That can also be your own story. So, well, this is so much we can bring to you on this week's edition of Business Matters. Please follow us on our different social media platforms. And please remember, God bless Nigeria always. My name is Stephen Ipadabo Lawson.